What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're gonna be talking about an update on the $250,000 tournament, lads. An update on the 250k tournament. So again, they still, I don't think in-game have updated the guys. Like, just for a DW, too long didn't watch. Basically, what happened was every person who got an account ban for buying MT got kicked out of tournaments. You guys can see... Oh, they actually removed all the names. They removed all the names. So, as far as I'm aware, every single qualifier got yeeted. As far as I'm aware, every single qualifier got DQ'd. And it kind of... And a lot of people... when you're talking about this entire thing, you're talking about this thing, because there is the logic of good, they shouldn't have been buying MT, they deserve to be disqualified, and I actually don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't necessarily disagree with that logic, but the reason why it's so bad, and the reason why there is uproar, is because you see these things on October the 15th. See these October the 15th ones. There were guys that qualified on October the 15th. 2K knew they bought MT on October the 15th and didn't do anything. Then people qualified in September, November 26th. 2K knew they bought MT, didn't do anything. Check their accounts. By the way, when these guys got their confirmation emails, 2K knew they all bought MT, but overlooked it. And now, on February the 8th, they decided, you know what? We're not going to overlook it, and we're going to disqualify everybody. And I think that it was. A lot of people are like, oh, this has been premeditated. I don't think it was. I have a lot of reasons to think that this was completely chance. That it was a complete chance. Actually, not complete chance, completely like last minute decision. That they probably didn't go in, leave work on Friday thinking that they were going to ban every single 250k qualifier. But they did leave work on Monday with that decision. And I do want to make it a point as well, because I know a lot of people are going to be attacking, say, like individuals in 2K on the dev team. I can guarantee you that it's a decision that a lot of people that are working there didn't want. And I'm 1,000,000% sure of that. I'm 1,000,000% sure that there are people working in that company that didn't want that decision. And there were people in the company that did want the decision. And unfortunately, as a collective, they decided to ban everybody for a lot of people. I think that what used to happen was if you got disqualified, you would get disqualified from that qualifier, but you could play. But everyone who got disqualified can't even play at all. They can't play on alt accounts. They can't do anything. They're just banned. And if you guys saw the email that they received, 2K basically, and you're like, oh, it's against 2K's terms of service. From the email that these guys received, 2K make it very clear that they are the sponsor of this tournament. That's it. That's the only thing they say with the tournament sponsors. And everyone's like, oh, you're doing all this, but like, 2K do, by the way, if you have ever read their tournament rules, they basically have a rule saying that they can disqualify anyone for any reason they want. I'm not even joking with that. I'm trying to find an email. So basically, this is the email that Splash got from them, and everyone else got this email. So, it says here, sponsor... You've been disqualified according to the following contest. So a sponsor may prohibit an entry from participating in the contest and win the prize in its sole discretion. And 2K very specifically called themselves a sponsor, and that's it. And it says here, by cheating, hacking, deception, or other unfair practices, including but not limited to automated entry programs, use of entry devices, playing through multiple 2K accounts or 2K sports accounts, or by participating or benefiting from a syndicate group, which is basically boosting. Or intending to annoy, abuse, threaten, or harass any other entrance players or sponsor representatives. I mean, I'm pretty sure like that there are qualifiers that have broke this last one. They just decided to cut down MT on the MT guys. But the big thing I will say with this is that the wording of this basically means we can pretty much get rid of anyone at our discretion. Like, and I'm pretty sure there is a part in it where they essentially say they can disqualify anyone at their discretion. And unfortunately, at their discretion was the whole damn tournament. Splash, a lot of guys did qualify, and I cannot stress this enough. Like, if you guys did, for anyone who did qualify, I don't I don't want anyone to say a negative word about anyone who did get their qualification, because this guy actually had to come out and say this right here. I know this is sensitive, don't know how to feel, haven't played, keep the hate to a minimum. Nobody should be getting hate for qualifying. Like, a lot of people slipped through. I don't think this guy did, but like, there are a lot of people that slip through the cracks. Like, anyone thinking, oh, it's now going to be a fair playing field, you're going to be seeing people with normal accounts. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to be seeing people with their God Squad accounts. The only issue with this entire thing is that, like, there are a lot of people slip through the cracks. I think what you're going to see is a lot of, you see qualifier number 4. I reckon every qualifier number 4 is going to, everybody in qualifier number 4 is going to be somebody who hasn't qualified through the 3 qualifiers, but is better than all the guys who did qualify based on the current system, and is going to make a brand new account so that it's not, so there's not going to make a brand new account, probably playing on a different system, because most of the comp guys have 2 systems, and then go and qualify. Like, and then kind of do it all hush hush. Like, that's who's going to win the tournament, by the way. Like, that is who's going to go win the tournament. It's going to be a situation like that. Or someone who slipped through the cracks. Or someone who spent a absolute, like, crap load of money on MT and just got away with it. Because, by the way, I'm not saying this is about someone who has qualified. I know somebody who DM'd me and said, I bought 30 million MT and I did not get banned. This guy's not a qualifier. This guy's, like, with the amount of people DM me, it could be anyone. But there are people that have bought tens of millions of MT and are okay. There are people who bought 50,000 MT and are getting popped. There are people who didn't buy MT and are getting popped. But I will say this. The amount of people that got away with buying millions of MT is so small. Like, it's so small. Like, probably in the double digits. Less than 100. And I also think that the amount of people wrongfully banned that didn't buy MT and didn't do anything that could be picked up as shady is probably a bit more, but probably less than 1,000. And I reckon they probably banned, and it's not even less, probably 100. And they probably banned about 5,000-10,000 people. Maybe more. Probably banned about 5,000 to 10,000 maybe. But, yeah, that's really the case. But Splash is out here tweeting. I'm pretty sure he said, what's this, somebody? Ronnie saying something pretty awesome, NFL players. Oh, Ronnie. But Splash tweeted as someone qualified who was 40th. Someone qualified who was 40th. And you know what that means? That means that 30, like, so he was 40th. So, worst case scenario, 36 of the top 40 bought MT. And just a heads up, if you are finishing 40th, the guys that are finishing first are probably going to beat you with amethysts. Like, that is the level gap in terms of levels of the game. Like, the standard of this tournament is going to be close to 0. But, for anyone in the tournament, why the F does that matter for you guys? You guys are competing for $250,000. Heck, it could be free. Not even free. Like, if you are a guy who is a really, really good 2K player, you qualify for this tournament, but you know that you would get popped by Splash, you get popped by Ty, you get popped by Nike, you have a chance. So look, as much of a bad situation as this is for all the guys that get DQ'd, as much as a bad situation as this is for the guys that want to watch the tournament, for all of you guys that did qualify, if there is anyone giving you hate for literally just getting an email and accepting your qualifying account, F them. Like, that's all you need. Like, that's the only way to react to it. You guys go and play and hoop in the tournament. Go get your chance at your money. Unfortunately, unless 2K view bot, views are going to be down because I don't know what we're doing. We're cooking something up. I got Ty, I got Splash, I got some companies. We're cooking something up. It might not be a full tournament because we know that 2K has veto power on any tournaments. Unfortunately. So if we are running tournaments, 2K, especially, like, we can't run it through a website. Like, 2K do have veto power. They can veto anything we try to do. So we have to have backup plans. But let's just say Operation Drown Out 250, as far as Twitch streams viewers go, because even for the guys competing, if there's no viewers, who the hell cares? You're playing for 500,000 between the two consoles. But Operation Drown Out 250 is happening. We've got a lot of people on board. We're doing it. We are doing it. We are drowning out the tournament in terms of viewers. But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the update, is that people are getting their emails. And honestly, when it comes to these emails, the vast majority of people that are getting the emails has slipped through the cracks. They've slipped through the cracks. They've gotten lucky. If you have got an email to qualify, don't play in the last qual. And you bought MT, by the way. And this isn't again, I'm not calling names. I don't know. If you slip through the cracks, as far as I'm aware, you're legit. As far as I'm aware, you are absolutely legit. But if you are watching this video and you slipped through the cracks and you bought MT, don't play the last qualifiers. Do not play it. Because if you qualify again, they'll pop you and get you out of everything. So yeah, that's a bit of an annoying thing. And also, I really want to make this a point. And the amount of you absolute gremlins hiding behind computer screens question the character of these people for purchasing MT. The tournament is for 250k, if not 500,000, a life-changing amount of money. People did not need to buy MT to get players. They needed MT to not be at a competitive disadvantage. When you have a chance to win 250,000 MT, you are not going to you're not going to base your morality. You're not going to let your morality stop you from winning 250,000 MT. And in a situation where, as we saw, 36 of the 40 were buying MT. So if everybody's doing it, it's not, whether you want to say they deserve to be kicked out of tournament or not, cool. But don't question these guys' character. Don't question their character. Because they could have gotten these juiced up cards if they want to spend 30 grand a year on VC. If they want to spend 30 grand on VC instead of, I don't know, the 1,500 they spent on MT. They want to spend 30 grand on VC, they could. They could, to be put in the exact same position. But they don't want to waste a year's salary on the game for a tournament that isn't guaranteeing them any money. But also they don't want to be at a competitive disadvantage. So whether or not you believe they should be kicked out of the game, out of tournament or not, that's cool. That's cool. But don't question the characters of these guys as individuals. They're not cheaters. I have not seen a person call them a cheater. Anyone who has qualified for this, by the way, since, they're literally saying, like, I feel bad for the people, but I'm going to play. And that's the right attitude to be about it. Nobody that is referring to these guys as cheaters would be within 100 points of these guys if they ran Amethyst Wesley person. And if you're someone that's calling these guys a cheater because they decide to buy MT instead of buying 10 times to 15 times the amount of VC to have the same outcome, and then I always hear the steroid example being like, oh, it's like using steroids in sports. It's like NBA players using steroids. It's like, no, it's like if the NBA had legal steroids, but it cost 10 million a year out of your salaries to get the legal steroids, so that only the people that were on max contracts could afford these legal steroids and then keeping themselves at the top. But there was like illegal steroids that people at the bottom could use that they had the exact same effect, the exact same side effects, the exact same as the NBA approved ones. They were just significantly cheaper, but if you got caught with these ones, you were kicked out of the league. So wouldn't you think if that was a situation in real life that it would be incredibly unfair? The rich stay on top, essentially making the NBA system pay to win? That's exactly what is in 2K. The current system, the fact that everyone was doing it, no matter what you want to argue they're cheating or not, the best players in the world played in this tournament. And it is for a life-changing amount of money. The best players in the world are not playing in this tournament. Pretty damn good players are playing. And whoever wins, no matter what people call this a Mickey Mouse 250k, whatever the hell they want to call it, who gives a damn? You're 200 grand richer. You're 200 grand richer. Who the hell gives a damn? But those guys, don't question the character of those guys. Especially if you're just some guy, you're some mostly 35-year-old man talking crap about a 20-year-old behind a computer screen. And in the case of Ty or Splash, in the case of Ty especially, a 20-year-old who had himself set financially for life at 21 because of his ability in a video game. And if that applies to you, go and type angry in the comments. I'm just going to hide you from my comment section. It's all good.